Armikla, I think people are taking their own time. It's already 8:04. Om Ganana Twa Ganapati Vamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastavam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Anashrinvan Nodivasi Sadhanam Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajinivati Dina Mavitrevato Maha Saraswatye Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Sarvalokanam Bhishije Bhagaroginam Hridaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Asmin Guru Charanarvindabhyam Namaha Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagat Raghuva Parvati Parameshwaro Devim Vachamajanenta Devaha Tam Vishwarupa Pashavo Vadanti Sano Mandresha Morjanduhana Dhenurvagaspat Sustudaitu Pautrapakalmasham Parasharatmajam Shakatatam Taponidam Vyasaja Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidaye Vasishthaya Namo Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Shri Mahatripurasundari Sameta Shri Chaturmulishwaraya Namaha Shri Kanchi Kamagoti Peethadivit Jagadguru Shri Shankaracharya Shri Charnayoha Namaha Swasti Srimad Bhumandala Alankara Trayatrim Shri Devata Sevita Shri Kama Shri Devi Sanata Shri Dekam Pranata Shri Mahadevi Sanata Shri Hasta Giridata Sakshakara Paramadhisthana Sattvarata Ramangita Kanchi Divya Kshetre Sharadha Madasusthitanam Atulita Sudara Samadurya Kamalasana Kamini Dhammilla Sampurna Mallika Malika Nishyanda Makaranda Jari Sauvastika Bhang Nigamba Vijrambadananda Tundili Manish Mandalanam Anukradadvaita Vidya Vinodara Sikanam Nirantara Lankriti Krida Shanti Danti Bhumnam Sakala Bhuvala Chakra Pratishtavaka Shri Chakra Pratishtha Vikhyada Yasholankradanam Nikhila Pashanda Santa Kanthakotpadinena Vishadīkrita Veda Vedanta Marga Shanmada Pratishthavakacharyanam Adhisthane Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Varya Shri Jagadguru Srimad Shankara Bhagavad Padacharyanam Adhisthane Simhasana Vijikta Srimad Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Sanyamindranaam Adhisthane Simhasana Vijikta Srimad Jayendra Saraswati Sanyamindranaam Ante Vasivarya Srimad Shankara Vijayendra Saraswati Sripadanam Charanalneyoh Saprashriyam Sanjilbandham Namaskuraha. Okay, so sequence உங்களுக்குலாம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு இல்லையா? போன தரத்தோட சீக்வன்ஸ் யார் யார் முதல்ல யாரு அப்புறம் யாரு அப்படின்னு. Yeah, so as soon as your previous person chants, then you can chant. So before we start, the longest one that we practiced last time, anybody who didn't get an opportunity to chant, do you want to chant and show that you have practiced?
I think இதுல இருக்கிறவ எல்லாருமே ஓரளவுக்கு போன வாரம் ட்ரை பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். I'm not sure about Bharat and DV and Vihan, but நானு பிரபு and ஸ்ரீதரன் நான் 3 பேருமே ட்ரை பண்ணோம்.
சரி, anybody wants to say that I have practiced it, now I can chant it well, confident? Somebody who struggled last time but can show that.
Wait, end the part, Mama.
Apova idagam sarvam vishva bhutanyava pranava ava pashava apo namapo bradavapas samradapo viradapas swaradapas.
Oh, not chant putting the last week.
Mistake illadaki. Is your email address different? Sridhar, ungaloda na change pannina neenga sonnadukku appuram.
இல்ல பண்ணலண்ணா.
Ainalda, okay. So I just remind me after the class. I will change, so you don't have to be admitted specifically. I don't know, Bhaskar and Vidyut, why you had to be admitted. Maybe your IDs are different.
I joined my brother's account, so.
Okay. Check whether in your calendar the invite is showing up. If it is, then you don't need to be admitted. There is some difference. Yeah. Okay. So, yaar chant pandra? Bharat or Vidyut? Any one of you?
Mama, I'll chant.
Seri, panma.
सर्वविश्वा भूतान्यापः प्राणावापः पशवापोन्नमापोन्मृतमापः सम्राडापो विराडापः स्वराडापः छन्दागस्यापो ज्योतिगस्यापो यजोगस्यापः सत्यमापः सर्वा देवता आपो भूर्भुवः सुवरापो.
Super. Excellent. Anybody else?
Achha,
Okay. Have you practiced?
yeah, Dharu Konja.
Okay. Try.
Apo va idagam sarva vishwa bhutanyapa pranava apa pashava apo namapo mritamapa samradapo viradapa swaradapa chandagushapo jyotigushapo yajugushapo satyamapa sarva devata apo purvasuvara apo.
95% and it shows that you have practiced. கொஞ்சம் நஞ்ச மிஸ்டேக் ஆனது வந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணா சரியா வந்துடும். ரைட்டா? இந்த மிருதமாப சம்ராடாபல மிரு வந்து ஸ்வரிதா. அது ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோ. தேவதால வந்து தேவதா தே சனுதாத்தா வ சுதாத்தா தா சனுதாத்தா. And முடிக்கிற டயத்துல you shouldn't be rushing just because you're finishing off. Matra has to be consistent. Anybody else?
Can I do it, Mama?
Yeah. Okay. Practice panniya?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Apo va idagam sarva vishwa bhutanyapa pranava apa pashava apo namapo mridamapo samradapo viradapo swaradapo chandagusyapo jyotigusyapo yajugusyapo satyamapo sarva devata apo bhurvasuvarapo.
Super. It shows that you have also practiced well. What I want you to fix with you is maybe it is your style of chanting, but I need to see more confidence. I understand you missed a few classes because of sports and other activities. It doesn't mean that your confidence has to be low. No, you can practice panni. If you come prepared, you are no less than anybody. Okay, chant with confidence. Tentativeness kundu varadu. Everything was good. Swaram, matra, everything was good, and easily I can make out whether you practiced or not. Okay, can you fix on that issue? Or tonely or shruti nalla gambhirama varnom. Nirmal bare confident pandra bare. It doesn't mean that it never makes mistakes. You are learning, so it will take time for the mistakes to get sorted out, but show that confidence. Where anybody else wants to make an attempt? Okay, then we'll move forward. Apapranayati.
Apapranayati. Apapranayati.
Shraddha va apaha.
Shraddha va
Shraddha meva rabhyah praneya pracharati. Apapranayati. Vajro va apaha.
Mama, you missed Yagnova Apaha.
Oh, yajno va apaha. Yajnameva rabhyah praneya pracharati. Apapranayati. Vajro va apaha. Vajrameva भ्रातृव्येभ्यः प्रहृत्य प्रणीय प्रचरति. Nirmal, I was hearing you loud and clear. I don't want you to chant. I want somebody else to chant and show me that they got it right.
But Mama, can you split up the words?
Okay, I'll do that. But let me hear if some people are able to do it. I would like to understand whether they got it right. Okay? Yeah, Pannugo.
Vajrameva bhratrvyebhya prakrutya praniya pracharati.
Super. It was correct. Adithabla?
Vajrameva bhratrvyebhya prakrutya praniya pracharati.
Super. Anybody else?
Vajrameva bhratrvyebhya prahritya praniya pracharati.
One more time.
Vajrameva bhratrvyebhya
Bhratravye kira porde. Is there anudata there?
No.
Pinna?
Bhratrvyebhya.
No, you are saying Bhratravye. Kira porde.
Bhratrvyebhya.
Correct it now, properly fix it without tentative chanting.
Vajrameva bhratrvyebhya.
Bhratravyebyah. Bhratravyebyah and if nago.
Bhratrvyebhya.
Prahritya praniya pracharati.
Prahritya praniya pracharati.
Where anybody else?
Mama, I think I got it now.
Okay, good.
Vajrameva bhratrvyebhya prahritya praniya pracharati.
Good. Ellarme change panunga. Apa pranayati. Whoever is doing avoid that. Is one matra. Don't say apa pranayati. It is apa pranayati. Apo vai rakshognihi. Rakshasavapahatyai. Hatyai ne yaro anudata kondu baro. Anudata ve kadiyadu. Yai is udata. One more time. Apa pranayati. Apo vai devanam priyam dhama. Devanameva priyam dhama praniya pracharati. Everything is correct. Nirmal, again, all of those who are using English script, you have to make a very structural correction. Whenever I see dhama, in English it should be A without any accentuation mark on the top. Or it is not capital A, it is lowercase a, correct?
No, it's actually uppercase A. No, it's not uppercase A, but it has a line of
Horizontal line on top of the ma?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is wrong.
Okay.
Because horizontal line means it is a, dheergam. There is no dheergam here, it is dhama. So, now I'm going to shift the responsibility on you. If you hear me saying dhama and you read in your script as dhama, you have to point out by asking a question. Seriya? That way it will be easy that we only stop where there is a script issue. Okay, ba?
Okay.
Anytime
Okay.
you hear me chant dhama and you are saying dhama or you read dhama, then you have to stop and ask. Apapranayati.
Apapranayati.
Apo vai sarva devataah. Devata evarabhyah praniyya pracharati. Apapranayati. Apo vai shantaah. Shantabhirevasya shuchagum shamayati. Super.
Mama Kiri.
Is it Reva? Yeah, Reva.
Sya. Revasya. Okay, ba?
Okay, Mama.
Right, okay. இப்போ அடுத்ததுல வந்து the words need to be split as savitot ஒரு group. Savitot அடுத்த group வந்து punat. Punat. அடுத்த group vachedrena. Ich soft va ich vach chi drena. Then you will go to pavitrena. Vasos suryasya rashmibhihi. Okay?
Mama, it's Vachidrena, right?
Vach ich soft chi hard. Vachidrena.
Mama, in my sense, it says Vikshidrena.
Wait for the corrected scripts to be released by next week.
So, Mama, should I correct it to Vachidrena?
Yes, continue. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Chetu Solgo. Devo vasavitot punat vachidrena pavitrena vasos suryasya rashmibhihi. Correct. One more time. Good. அடுத்தது வந்து கூர்ச்சாக்னை ராட்சசான் கோரான் இது சொல்றதே தான் அந்த கூர்ச்சத்தை போடணும். If you remember in the previous classes I said, although we do the kalasham built up already while chanting all these mantras these days, traditional Vaidikas will build the kalasham up. These mantras are all to build the kalasham up. Okay, va? So you need to put a kurcham in the kalasham. Does anybody know what a kurcham is?
Darba.
Correct. So what is the difference between kurcham and pavitram?
Which will have. Sorry, Kiji, go ahead.
நான் ஒண்ணுமே சொல்றேன்.
But பத்திரம் கூர்ச்சம். Not 1 knot and 2 knots.
That is Sridhar. Where are anybody else wants to give it a shot?
Bhaskar.
நான் பவித்ரங்கிறது கையில போட்டுக்கிறது இல்லையா விரல்ல முதல் விரல்.
Okay, but other than that, there is no difference.
அதான் அந்த நாட் ஸ்ரீதர் சார் சொன்ன மாதிரி
Anybody else? Okay. All of you others, even Nirmal, Vidyut, all of you need to know these things. You know, it's not like an adult affair, so they know they're talking. You're a Vedic student, you need to know all these things. So, Pavitram Gardhavande, you any Pavitram or Kurcham, you always அதுக்கு என்ன திருக்கி விடுறதுக்கு என்ன சொல்றது? பிரிச்சு விடுறதுக்கு you sort of roll it in such a way that they all stripe with each other, okay? What intertwine with each other. So typically you do a even darbai for puja karyam, odd one for pitra karyam. So we don't need to talk about pitra karyam now. So for the sake of this discussion, we can consider 2 darbais. You take it, intertwine it more appropriately. You make a loop where at the end of one loop and one knot, the tip is at the top and the bottom is a long straight darba ending at the bottom. That is a kurcham. Okay, one loop and one knot. Pavitram வந்து கையில போட்டுக்கிறது. When we do any puja karyangal, we start with by wearing pavitram. So whatever we do is pure. In that case, you intertwine, then you almost bend it to half, again intertwine, make a knot. So there will be a knot and there will be a bigger loop, and through the loop you put your ring finger to wear it on your hands. That is pavitram. The shape is different. I had already shared these pictures on the group, which is why I asked this question. How many of you have gone through the messages in the group? So next time somebody asks you, at least you need to be able to give a more clear, detailed answer. Okay, va? So anybody knows, I've already discussed this. Does anybody know why the kurcham is important in the kalasham? Nobody?
கூர்ச்சம் தான் எல்லா பவர்ஸையும் அந்த கலசத்துக்குள்ள இது பண்றது.
Correct. The whole idea of doing kalasham and chanting of mantras is to energize the water within the kalasham. Typically, you chant Pavamana Suktam 4 times. So one person can chant 4 times, or you can have 4 Brahmanas together chanting once. Minimum is 4 Pavamana Suktams to energize the water in the kalasham. So when you have water in the kalasham, then you put mango leaves, and then you put coconut on top of it, then you put vastram, you put garlands, you stuff up so much that the mantras that you're chanting, it's very difficult for the water to get the sound vibrations as is, to get energized. So kurcham is placed so that the tip is outside with the loop, and the straight part goes inside through the mango leaves and below the coconut, touching the water inside the kalasham. It is important that you make sure that you touch the water, because the water has to be filled to the neck of the kalasham. Not all the way up to the top, not halfway. It has to be always up to the neck. So when you chant Pavamana Suktam, it is supposed to energize the water inside. That is the whole idea of putting a kurcham. So without kurcham, if you put kalasham, it has got very little sanctity. So in order to place the kurcham, you chant this. Kurcha Gray Rakshasan Ghoran. Kurcha Gray Rakshasan Ghoran. Chalo go. Chindi Karma Vidhatinaha. Chi and dhi hard. Chi and dhi hard. Chindi.
Chindi karma vidhatina.
அது விகாத்தினா
Vigatinaha.
Enna mama?
Vigatinaha.
Chindi karma vigatina.
Gha hard.
Chindi karma vidhatina.
Correct. Tvamarpayami kumbhesmin safalyam kuru karmani. So இப்ப சேர்த்து சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கலாம். ரெண்டுத்தையும் கூர்ச்சாக்னே ராட்சசான் கோரான் அதுவும் சேர்ந்து சொல்லுங்க. So once again, why do we chant this mantra and when do we chant it?
For the thing that you wear on your ring finger.
Nirmal,
Yeah,
did you have coffee in the morning?
I had milk.
Milk, okay. So your mom did not heat it up properly. Why will you put something on your ring finger and chant mantram to energize the kalasham? Does it make any sense? And why would you not know the terminology if I have taken so much pain to explain it? Right? We don't call in a spiritual environment that thing, this thing a lot. Correct?
Okay, mama.
So can somebody give me the correct answer?
கலசத்துல கூர்ச்சத்தை வச்சுட்டு இதை சொல்லுவோம்.
வைக்கிறதுக்கு சொல்லுவோம்.
வைக்கிறதுக்கு.
Correct. Okay. Did you get that answer, Nirmal?
Wait, mama, is it a kurcha gram or is it a kurcha grai?
Kurcha Grai.
Okay.
Sorry, I would appreciate if others also participate, otherwise it will become only a KG and me or the normal dialogue. So even if the answer is wrong, it is okay. At least I will know what you understand and what you don't. So answer pannungo. The next is mango leaves. Mango leaves, again, you will hear various sampradaya. 3 இருக்கணும் 5 இருக்கணும். இந்த 3-5 கணக்கெல்லாம் வந்து நான் USA வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் கத்துட்டேன். Because here everything is sold as individual leaves in a packet, plastic bag. So obviously then comes the vattapada, rettapada இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு இருக்கும். Typically back in India, what we do is you just take a bunch of mango leaves and you put it in the kalasham. அதாவது ஒரு சின்ன பிரான்ச் இருக்கும். பிரான்ச்ல வந்து 5-10 இதெல்லாம் கணக்கே போட மாட்டாங்க, நிறைய இருக்கும். Just take it and put it in the kalasham. Only when the kalasham is very small, that you can hardly accommodate 2, 3 or 5, that is when you get to the basis of should I put 3 leaves or 5 leaves. It should be an odd number. Minimum is 3. You don't put 1 leaf or 2 leaves and build a kalasham.
Okay, mama.
Okay, so if there is a shortage of mango leaves, what to do? We have used Vettala as a substitute, although there's nowhere in Shastra it says it can be done. we are living in a world where mango leaves and other things are not freely available, so we have to make through with substitutes. Right? So, to chant a mantram for keeping the mango leaves now. Are you all paying attention now?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is Vruksharaja Samudbhuta Shakhaya Pallavatvachaha. Vruksharaja Samudbhuta. Yeah, Vruksharaja Samudbhuta Shakhaya Pallavatvachaha.
Mama, is it Vriksha Raja?
Raja.
Raja.
அதுக்காக தான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணேன். वृक्षराज समुद्भूता शाखाया पल्लवत्वचः युष्मान् कुम्भेष्वर्पयामि सर्वपापापनुत्तये. सर्वपापापनुत्तये. Correct. So full change சொல்லுங்க.
Yushman karma beshvarpayami sarva papa panuttaye.
கேஜி நிறைய தப்பாச்சு. யுஷ்மான் இஷ் வந்து புஷ்பம் ஷண்முகாவோட இஷ். யுஷ்மான் கும்பே ப ஹார்டா வரணும். கும்பேஷ் இஷ் அகைன் சாஃப்ட். கும்பேஷ்வர்பயாமி. நீங்க மாத்திரம் சொல்லுங்க.
ட்ரை பண்றேன். யுஷ்மான் கும்பேஷ்வர்பயாமி சர்வ பாபா பனுத்தயே.
கரெக்ட். சொரித்தாலாம் வேண்டாம், ஃபிளாட்டா சொன்னா போறோம் ஒரே இதுல.
Mama, can I try?
Try.
Yushman kumbheshvarpayami sarva papa panuttaye.
Correct. So now we have placed kurcham. We already have in the kalasham water, coins or swarnangal. You can put various types of coins, various types of ornamental items. In good old days, there will be a concept where you take the copper coin and take it from the yajamana of the house or the family members and put it inside the kalasham. These are sampradayangals. The bottom line is you need to have swarnams at the bottom. You need to have the kumbha powder in the bottom of the kalasham, inside the kalasham. You need to have water filled in with up to the neck. Here again, you will see different types of people putting in different sampradayams, although there are no specifications that I have seen in Shastram. Put it with lukewarm water, put it with cold water, don't put it with hot water. There are different sampradayams. So you may want to follow the local sampradayams there. But how much to fill, there are no debates. Who will put the coins from where, there are no debates. Those elements are all predetermined. As far as kumbha powder is concerned, you will again see several recipes. A lot comes from more of sampradayams and what people have said. If you really go to the higher levels of Vedic studies, you will be taught, which I will also cover, depending on which puja you do, for what devata, male, female goddess, specific god, the composition and the ingredients in the kumbha powder will be slightly different. So what are the ratio, proportion of those ingredients, etc. We'll get into the details at a much later stage, but it is important for you to know kumbha powder is already there. You placed kurcham, now you chanted the mantra and you put the mango leaves. Next is you ensure that you put the coconut on top. The coconut, again, at least in the US, these are basic challenges that you need to be aware. Just because you see a kudumi, don't place the kudumi or the shikai at the top. If you buy, they will say puja coconut, no, special or a category put, you'll see it in the stores. They rot easily because they come from some different place. So please be aware, if you buy puja coconut, you need to consume it quickly. If not, you have to put it in the freezer. It can extend your life of the coconut. And just because you have shikai, it doesn't mean that's a right direction to keep it upwards. It would make sense for each one of you as an expert, to check the opposite end of the shikhai, the other end of the coconut, to see if there are 3 eyes or dots, periya dots. If you have, then somebody has removed the shikhai from the right place and retained the shikhai in the opposite end. If that is the case, you will remove that shikhai also and ensure that the 3 eyes are at the top. Preferably 2 facing you in the front and 1 at the bottom, towards the back side. Priyada, if I am showing the hand, if this part is 2 eyes, the third one will be here, and the coconut is kept like this. Any confusion there? You want me to repeat it?
No, good.
Okay, so either check பண்ணுங்க. 90% of the time people make a mistake. So when you are present and if you are asked to set things up, you need to make sure that these things are not mistaken. So அதுல வந்து நாளிகேர சமுத்பூத திரிநேத்திர ஹரசத்தப, திரிநேத்திரனா அதான் 3 கண்ணு. So நாளிகேர சமுத்பூத திரிநேத்திர ஹரசத்தப शिखाया दुरितं सर्वं पापं पीडां च मे नुद. शिखया, sorry. शिखया, yeah.
शिखया दुरितं
सर्वपापं
So this only mango coconut leaves வைக்கணும். Can anybody tell me what did I miss here in giving the instruction? You have to apply manja powder on the coconut. அப்படியே கடையில இருந்து வாங்கி அப்படியே வைக்க கூடாது. Coconut has to be coated with the manja powder. Second, when you know the position of the coconut with the 3 eyes at the top or the shikhai at the top, in the direction what is front, what is back, preferably apply the chandanam kungumam on top of the coconut, just like we do. So the 3 eyes are the Trinetra of Shiva. அதுக்கு கீழே நெத்தியில இந்த சந்தன குங்குமம் போடுவோம். அது மாதிரி அந்த கோகோனட்ல அந்த இடத்துல நல்லா பெருசா தெரியுற மாதிரி, clearly visible from a distance, you do a big chandana pottu and within that a concentric circle of kungumam. The reason is once you place it, you can't go and apply it on top without toppling things, without dropping things off. So அதை முன்னாடியே தடவி அதை வைக்கிறதையே அதோட வச்சிருவோம். Okay? But if you're skilled enough to do it later on, that is fine too. Then for gems and coins, gold coins add பண்றதுக்கு sahiratnani dashushe suvati savita bhagah. Sahiratnani Enaji, what happened to others?
Mama, could you repeat that?
Oh, you don't have it in the script?
No, I do.
Okay. Sahiratnani dashushe suvati savita bhagah. Tam bhagam chitrabhimahe Seriya?
Okay.
So can somebody tell me, in building the Kalasham up, what are all the things that we have accomplished so far? Starting from the base. Systematically. Don't jump to the 3rd, 4th step straight away. Most basic requirement is what?
We took the Pursham of the Kalasham.
Who was that, Vidyut?
Yeah.
Yeah, you jump to the 5th step. Just because we started the class from there.
neck வரைக்கும்.
I explained, right? You have to have a banana leaf on which you put rice. On top of it, you keep the kalasham. Then on kalasham, you have water filled in, kumbha powder put. You put the kurcham,
Jewelry.
you put the mango leaves, you put the coins, you keep the coconut. This is what we have accomplished so far.
Okay.
Seriya. So my recommendation is I will not take much of a time in lecturing now, but I think all of you should take every input that I'm giving seriously. Otherwise, you're going to lose all of these inputs. You will be as clueless as you were before the class. I'm sorry to say that. It should be a passion for you to learn because I'm teaching you all the basics so that you can confidently sit and say, I know how to set up a puja and I know how to perform a puja. I happened to read a blog site today. It was pathetic. Somebody is taking screenshots of a mantram for Kumbha Avahanam, Kalasha Avahanam, and saying, I don't know what to do, when, how, which is what is correct. And the responses to those questions on the blog is even more pathetic. So if you do not take notes and if you do not remember these inputs, you're going to be as ignorant as you were before. So the choice is yours. If you're investing time in learning, please learn everything. And I'm taking pain to teach, which probably many other people don't think it is important. So
Mama,
we have,
could you repeat what you said so that I can take notes?
you have banana leaf at the bottom. If you don't have banana leaf, you put a silver plate, put rice on top of it, a small layer, place the kalasham on top, fill water up to the neck of the kalasham. And also when you say kalasham, the kalasham has to be threaded. And the thread has to be replaced. Once the puja is over, it has to be replaced. Every puja, it has to be tied new. And there are the rules for threading also in terms of how to thread. If you want, I can do a video class in terms of showing you how to thread the kalashams.
Okay.
Then you have water in the kalasham. Then you have kumbha powder. You have coins. Sairatnani, Dashushe, Mandare Cholli. Then you have kurcham. You have mango leaves. Then you have coconut. This is what we have built so far. Okay.
Okay.
Based on whatever all of you have seen, can you tell me what are all the things still pending?
வஸ்திரம்.
Correct. யார் சொன்னது? Prabhuva. Good. That's the kind of interaction I'm expecting. Answer could be wrong. Then you gave a wrong answer, but at least make an attempt. So that's how you learn. Vastram is one. What else is pending? Poonal, correct. Second.
Do we have to put fruits?
Sorry?
Fruits?
I can't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying like fruits.
Fruits, Okay, fair enough.
மஞ்சள் குங்குமம். சாரி, சந்தன குங்குமம். ஒரு கலசம்.
Fair enough. Where?
Mama, jewelry.
Very good. யார் அம்மா சொன்னாலா இல்லை நீயாவே சொல்றியா?
No, you said you're supposed to put something on the bottom.
Good.
Like a few minutes before, you said you're supposed to put something on the bottom of the jar. Or
Oh, okay. That coins we have already discussed. Sahi Ratnani Dashushe and the mantra adhikdane.
yeah, you also said jewelry.
Yeah, so don't mix up these two things. Jewelry is different. Coins inside is different. Coins or gems or metals, precious metals, those are two different things. So fair enough. We don't want to go into nth level of detail. Can anybody say why are these three things pending? What are they and why are they pending?
Because நாம் வந்து பகவான் ஆவாகனம் so we are integrating it to ensure it is
Brilliant answer, Prabhu. I'm so happy to hear that answer. Brilliant. That's what it is. Did others understand what Prabhu said? Do you want to request him to repeat it?
Yeah.
And please understand the use of terminology. He was giving a very clear and specific answer. So you can ask him to slow down, but I want one of you to repeat what he said with full knowledge. Prabhu, would you mind repeating it again?
பகவான ஆவாகனம் பண்றதுக்காக நாம சுவாமி எப்படி டெக்கரேட் பண்ணுவோமோ அந்த ஈக்குவலண்டா வி டு எவ்ரி ஸ்டெப் இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் த வஸ்திரம் ஆர் ஊனல் இல்ல புஷ்பம் புஷ்பமால் those are the steps that we do.
Did you all get it now?
Yes.
Can one of you repeat what he said?
Wait, so what he means is that like you decorate the kalasham just like how you decorate God?
Correct. And what is the whole process called? He used the term. Prabhu used the term.
Invoke.
Invoke is avahanam.
Ava.
The question was decoration. The question was decoration, right?
I use the term ஆவாகனம்.
இல்ல அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணீங்க கரெக்டா யூஸ் பண்ணீங்க உபச்சாரம். Yes, ஷோடஷோ means 16. ஷோடஷ உபச்சாரம் ரெண்டு கம்பைன் பண்ணினா ஷோடஷோபச்சாரம்னு ஆகும். ஷோடஷம்னா 16. So you will get vastram, upavidam, etc. only if you go to 16. பஞ்சோபச்சாரம்னா சிம்பிளா முடிச்சிருவா. கந்தம் புஷ்பம் தூபம் தீபம் நைவேத்தியம், that's it. ஷோடஷோபச்சாரத்துல தான் டீட்டெயிலாக வரும். So bottom line is we have not invoked any god in the kalasham. It is right now a piece of metal. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, Mama.
Okay.
Yep.
So at this time you chant these mantras to do invocation of God into the kalasham. Tatvaya vibrahmana vandamanas tadashaste yajamano havirbhihi Super. Yeah, again Nirmal, I am hearing that tat and the tat and crispa solla tat na crispa varna. It is not tat, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you hedamano varuneha bodhyurashagam samana ayah pramoshihi. Other than Prabhu, whichever எல்லாரும் சொல்லுங்க கொஞ்சம். Okay. இது சொல்லிட்டு ஓம் பூர்புவஸ்ஸுவரோம் clear, the mantra is clear. இத சொல்லி then you say asmin kumbhe because you are invoking the god in the kalasham, that is why you use the term kumbhe. somaskanda swarupena. This part is optional. Some people say it, some people don't say it. Then you say straight away varunamavahayami. Varunam plus avahyami will make it Varunamavahayami. There are people where they will say Sakala Tirthadhipatim, Sakala Tirtha Adhipatim, Tirthadhipatim, Varunamavahayami. These are the variations. So you can chant based on the group, whatever the particular group is saying. The core elements are Asmin Kumbhe, Varunam Avahyami. Those are basic mandatory things. The prefixes, titles, adjectives, etc. can be optional. Chalo go. Asmin Kumbhe Somaskanda Swarupena Varunam Avahayami.
Asmin Kumbhe
Varunamavahayami.
நான் ஒரு ஸ்மால் இது இந்த சோமஸ்கந்தர் போது ஓகே சிவனை தான் இது பண்ணும் இல்லையா, ஈஸ்வரன் தான் பண்ணோம்.
ஆமாமா.
சோ எனி பூஜைக்கு அவர் தான் இன்வால்வ் பண்ணும்.
சோமஸ்கந்தன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் பண்ணுவான்.
எனி பூஜா.
Yeah.
Can you say that line? That line is not in our script.
Asmin Kumbhe Somaskanda Swarupena Varunam Avahayami.
Asmin Kumbhe.
What was after Soma Skanda?
Enama?
Ashmin Kumbhe Soma Skanda.
Swarupena. As I said, the basic thing that is mandatory is Asmin Kumbhe Varunam Avahayami. This is the most simplistic mandatory keywords. All the other thing is basically how you describe and visualize Varuna Bhagavan. You are invoking Varuna Bhagavan into the Kalasham. All right?
Okay.
So what are you expected to do when you chant this line?
Place the kumbham in the puja wherever you.
இல்ல இந்த மந்திரம் சொல்றதே வருணமாவாகயாமி பண்றதே we don't move the kalasham, no. Kalasham is already in place. Correct. You don't just chant the mantra and do nothing, right? You put akshada on the kalasham, not inside. You just put akshada on the kalasham from outside. Okay va? Hello?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Mama.
Good. So, as soon as avahanam is done, immediately you ask somebody to take a seat, right? So, Varunasya idamasanam.
Idamasanam.
Varunasya
Varunaya namaha. So far, very clear? Okay. Then, there is also one more mantra that people say. Sakala aradhanais swarchitam. Sakala aradhanais swarchitam. You also put akshada again or flower. Correct. Correct. Now, what happens is you stop here because for Mahanyasam, you do a very detailed upacharam later. For those kalashas, 11 Rudras and one Ambal kalasham, all the 12 kalashams you do later. Typically, if you are doing Punya Avachanam, you actually go down to the Shodashopacharam of that kalasham, which is an extra kalasham in front of you for doing Punya Avachanam, where you will finish the Shodashopacharam by saying Ratna Simhasanam Samarpayami, Padayoho Padhyam Samarpayami, Argyam Samarpayami, Achamaniyam Samarpayami, Shuddhodaka Snanam Samarpayami, இதெல்லாம் சொல்லி அந்த டயத்துல தான் ஒவ்வொன்றத்தையா நம்ம பண்ணணும், ஆட் பண்ணிட்டே போகணும். You place the vastram. If you have the capability to do it, do it. obviously for Ekas Rudra Abhishekam and all, you will have to place everything ahead of time because you can't keep getting up for each kalasham and hold up everybody. So you prepare everything ahead of time. So you can touch the vastram. If you have already placed the vastram, you can touch with your hand as if you are offering it at that time. So what are the things that you offer there? Vastram, Yajnopavitam, Abharanam, which is ornaments, jewelry. These are all the things that you offer. If you don't have anything, you can say all of these things, Akshatan Samarpayami. That means as a substitute, I'm offering you Akshata in place of all these things. And then you say, Divya Parimala Gandham Dharayami, Gandhasya Upari, Gandhasyopari, Haridra Kumkumam Samarpayami. Again, for all the 11, 12 kalashams, you will already place the Chandran Kumkumam on all the four sides ahead of time while placing it. On the coconut also you have done it. So you can just touch those areas as if you are applying it at that time. If you want to be too technical and people are willing to wait for you, you can do it one by one and do the Gandham and Gandhasya Upari. Gandhasya Uparina after Gandham Kumkumam. Then you put Pushpa Mala, a small mala, or if you are rich enough, you can offer a garland for each of the kalasham if the kalasham can hold. Typically, what we do is a 3-inch piece of jasmine string is what we put. You can put 6 inches, it doesn't matter. Basically, you're offering a Pushpa Mala. After Pushpa Mala offering, you have to do Pushpai Pujayami. Can anybody tell me the terminology for that particular part? Because I've explained all of these things in detail in Ganapati Puja context. I've also repeated this in the previous classes. Pushpamala பண்ணினதுக்கு அப்புறம் அடுத்தாப்புல என்னது?
புஷ்பத்தல அர்ச்சனை.
What is that called as? Typically they are called as Anga Puja. Typically, if you're doing Vigneshwara Puja or Pullayar Puja or any of those pujas, or Saraswati Puja or Varalakshmi Puja, etc., any of those pujas, you are supposed to offer flowers, and in fact, in some parts, you have specific flowers for specific parts of the body. So if you are in India, you have the luxury of getting all types of flowers, then you can go as technical as you want. Typically, you put flowers in different parts of the body: shoulder, hips, waist, nabi, etc. Padam. It's called Anga Puja. If you are in a hurry to finish off the puja fast, you typically keep putting all those pushpams on the Vigneshwara idol or the kalasham as the context is. So in this case, you will say Ganga Yenama, Yamuna Yenama, Godavari Yenama, Saraswati Yenama, all the Saptatirthama, alla rivers in Chulli, Narmada Yenama, Sindhave Yenama, Kaveri Yenama, Tirtha Raja Yenama, Prachetas Yenama, Surupine Yenama, Apampate Yenama, Makravana Yenama, Jaladipate Yenama, Pashasta Yenama, Varna Yenama. இதெல்லாத்தையும் சொல்லி அங்க பூஜையை முடிச்சுட்டு you will say Nana Vida Parimala, Patra Pushpani Samarpayami, and then you go to Dhupam, Deepam, Nevedyam, Tambulam, and Niranjana, Karpura Niranjana. So typically that is how you will finish the Kalasham for Punyabhachana. In Mahanyasam, whatever abridged Anga Pujaikal, etc. that I said, in place of the Anga Pujai mantra 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, we actually chant the Rudra Trishati. Because it is a big one. So we chant Rudra Trishati there. So adalla aparama varum. So before you go to the Shodashopacharam, what you have done is you have set up the Kalasham, you have invoked the gods as a Varuna Bhagavan. Now also understand, in one Kalasham, depending on what all pujas you want, you may have the luxury to put 5 or 6 Kalashams, or you can do only one Kalasham. You can invoke as many gods as you want into that Kalasham. Varuna Bhagavan is there, then you can invoke Ganapati, you can invoke Shivan, you can invoke everybody that you want. So that is an additional step of invocation in terms of what all pujas you want to do using that Kalasham. Am I making sense?
Yes, Mama.
I will ask questions, and if you all stare at me without answering, that means you are not taking notes or you're not internalizing the input that I'm giving. So understand the difference again, especially the kids, since you're not used to doing all these things. Adults have got practice, so they're able to answer. When we are talking of 12 Kalashams, we have only invoked Varuna Bhagavan into those Kalashams. We are yet to invoke the 11 different forms of Rudra, which we will do. That is where The Upacharangals have not started. We just invoke Varna Bhagavan and we are all set. But before we get to the puja, we want to do the purification of our body parts before we start actually doing the Upachara Puja or Anga Puja. Whereas if you do Punya Vachanam, you are not doing a Ekadasi Rudra, you are just doing a Punya Vachanam before a simple Ganapati Puja or Saraswati Puja. Whatever I told you, that Anga Puja, simple Anga Puja is what you will do, and you will follow the Dupati Nevedyam, etc. And then you will go on to chant the Pavamana Suktam to energize the water. Give me 1 second.